going to go ahead and get started. These people up. Good evening. We'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. First item is old. I'm not on. Can you hear me?
You're good.
Okay.
No, it's got to be red, Carlos.
Red.
Yeah,
There we go. Okay. First item for business is old business, and there is none, so we'll move to new business. First item is 802 Iberville Drive. K. Weiser requests for certificate of appropriateness to install a fence along the east property line.
I can give a pretty brief presentation on this. Her request is to, like I said, install an aluminum, 4-foot tall aluminum fence, similar, possibly identical to the one that y'all approved just a few months ago for the house to the east of the corner. Our goal is to basically give some identification to the property to distinguish it from the undeveloped lot that is between this one and the office house that y'all approved. One thing to point out is that the UDC does not allow fences on undeveloped parcels without a principal building, so that will also entail approval of basically an appeal by the Board of Aldermen of that requirement of the UDC. You can make a recommendation on that. I think there's a motion in here as part of it. So there are two items with this. One is the fence itself, and the other is the appeal of that UDC requirement. I just would point out that, like in the photo shows, there is an existing fence along their south property line. So there's already some fencing of the property that this would add to. And I think the property owner's here if you have questions for her or for me also.
Do y'all have questions? Do I need to go up there?
Please, if you have anything to say.
Hello.
Hello.
So really, I hope to start building a house on the property maybe by the end of the year, I hope. We'll see. And I'm sure I will be seeing all of you nice folks again. But I just wanted a delineation of the property line, just really actually about placement of my house and how we're going to work things like that. And that was the reason I didn't understand that I was going to have to do an appeal and all that, but I think she's explained it appropriately to me. So if y'all have any questions.
So I safe to assume that the picture of a similar fence that you want to install is included here?
Yes, sir. The large white house that is just to the east of my property, the one that y'all approved previously, it is the exact same fence that they did their property line, and it's the exact same fence contractor as well.
The black one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Wait, will she have to actually appeal to ZAB, or will their recommendation to appeal go directly to the board?
Their recommendation will go to the board. Since this is a historic district, there are provisions in the UDC for the HPC to make that recommendation regarding
So you
the
wouldn't
appeal.
have to.
So it automatically would.
Right. Yeah, that was a question I had too. That how many boards is this going to have to go through?
Right.
Yeah, so it's there's within the HPC to do that.
So let me ask this question, because when I look at the property lines, and I might not see, what you're going to see is that fence essentially appear again, essentially, and make it look, so it's not going to look out of place.
I wouldn't think so. You'll have the one fence about 60 feet to the east of this one, surrounding the office building.
Yeah.
You'll have this one, the fence proposed here. Then you'll also have the one on the south property line, the white fence, to kind of tie it all in together. It's not going to. I wouldn't think it's going to look.
It's going to
totally out
look
of place.
better, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and then you guys can handle the UDC thing for the time being, since I guess she has the intention of building a house.
Correct, yeah, we can deal with that. So,
Okay.
things we have done before in a similar situation. It's not within a historic district.
Do they have to make a separate motion?
Yes.
I think it would be good, best to have two motions on it. One for the fence itself, the other for the appeal.
Okay.
I mean, unless you feel like it's all appropriate, you just roll it into one. I mean, that would be totally your call on it.
Well,
Whoever makes the motion.
I think it's easier, but I don't see an issue with this. I think it's going to look better to begin with, and since you have the intention of building a property, I don't see why we couldn't just go ahead and make a recommendation. to
Understand.
accept it as
Okay.
is. So we could have a motion.
I make a motion to approve the certificate of appropriateness for the installation of a 4-foot tall aluminum fence on the east side of the 802 Iberville Drive as described in the application.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so that gets us the fence now, right?
Yes.
Now we have to recommend it go before the UDC, or?
Recommend an appeal of you would recommend approval of the appeal of the UDC requirement regarding the fence on an undeveloped lot.
Too many words for me, sorry.
Just actually on the second page of the report, if you go over to that one, at the very bottom of it, there's the text. You just want to read that as it is. That'll be great.
I make a motion to recommend the approval of an appeal of the Unified Development Code prohibition of fences on parcels without principal structure on 802 Iberville Drive.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Will those both go to the board on Tuesday?
Yes, to be Tuesday evening, 6 o'clock in here. Same place.
Tuesday next week.
Yeah.
Yes, the 21st.
21 at 6, and I'll be here to kind of do just like I did today,
It will be on consent.
if they have any questions.
Yeah, and it'd probably be a good idea just to go ahead and be here,
Okay, all right.
just in case.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank y'all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next item is 315 Front Beach. Edward Aldridge, request for COA to demolish 2 cottages.
Okay, I think this is fairly straightforward. There's a photo of, front photo of the one, and there's additional photos of them in the report, you page on through it. But these are 2 accessory buildings that we appear to have been built around, will date from around 1909. As you can see, they have been added on to, modified since then. According to Mr. Aldridge, they are in bad shape. He's tried to do some repairs to them. HPC did approve the demolition of 3 of them previously back in 2005 after they were damaged by Katrina. Typically, the preference is that before a structure in a historic district is demolished, that there be some proposed replacement structures and utilization of the site be provided. I think in this case, Ms. Henry Furr, the architect, is here. I understand from the applicant is going to be working with him to design some additional structures on the property. Plus, the building official has inspected both of them and has recommended that they both be removed due to the condition that they are in. So that's where we are right now. Can I answer questions? Like I said, Mr. Aldridge is here. If you have questions for him also. Thank you.
It looks like you're going to be doing a job that's really needed to be done here.
Apparently you made a valiant effort to try and rebuild the measurements.
They're in terrible shape.
Yeah.
The holes in the roof, we've tried to patch it up.
Almost looks like there's a second roof
really
that
a
was
mess.
built on
And
top
with
of
the
it.
pictures, give you an idea.
Yeah.
And we just hope to replace cottages there in the exact same location, really improve the property. It's a real mess right now.
Looks like the first step is still going to be an improvement.
Yeah.
Your second step of what you're building would be much better.
Improvement will be just getting them off there, I think.
Yeah.
What was the plan, what's going to be built there now?
We're looking at two cottages, basically in almost exactly the same footprints of what's there, but doing something. These both got flooded in Katrina, and so we're looking to go back with something a little bit higher. And so, you know, something that would feel like, okay, at least Katrina wouldn't get these. And,
Right.
and maybe actually a little more of a nod of, you know, materials, maybe siding or something to the main house that's nearby, but it's actually on a separate parcel.
They're in separate parcels. Are they going to be VRBOs? Are they going to be family members living in
We're
there?
RVO.
VRBO.
Well, basically, the one cottage is going to be a little larger, the one further back from the ocean, from beach. So we can use as protection, a place to go to get off Front Beach. Even though when we put up our aluminum shutters, that's not enough in a real big blow.
Yeah, 30-foot wall won't does that.
Yeah, so it's going to be a structure that my family can go in. It's going to be, that one will be 2 bedrooms. 2 bedrooms, small. You know, we're talking 1,000, 1,200.
No, I didn't know if it was being built for the purpose of being a rental or what.
No, right now, no rentals. No, I've never rented those cottages since I've owned the property, and they were rentals. But no, I don't have a plan for that. I really don't. It's that may come. To
I mean,
be-
not that I have a problem with it anyway, because that's.
No, I
tourism,
just,
so
I'm not much of a
curious more
rental
than
person.
anything
I don't really like people on my property.
Yeah.
You know, that's just the kind of guy I am. But
else. I get that.
if I ever sell it, maybe someone else might. Or
Yeah.
no plans on selling it either.
Sounds like anything. Demolition is definitely improvement, that's for sure.
And wait, you mentioned a date on the age of the structures, 1909, but
Yeah.
I don't know, that doesn't seem right
It
with
doesn't
the
look right.
Arizona brick.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
no,
no,
right.
that's
I mean,
right.
that's
more like-
There was an original structure that was built all
Yeah,
over.
right. Maybe.
Yeah, then
That
that
was-
knocked over, then they rebuilt
That was
it.
from the Corporate Archives website. That's what it said about it. Which
Yeah,
it
They
doesn't look
might
like
have
to
pulled
me.
the
but-
address.
no, just the materials look,
Yeah.
look much later than that, so.
And no, this is not the committee for it, but just a question, just so I'll know. I applied to get three of the oak trees are just bearing down on this property with limbs. You can't even. Well, the guy who I wanted to tear them down was having problems getting his machines in there. He said. So this isn't the committee, I guess, to bring it up, but I have to go somewhere else to find out about getting those limbs trimmed. We're not cutting trees down; we're just trimming.
Yeah, I'd be talking to Darrell Stringfellow, the building official,
Okay.
and may have to go to the Board of Aldermen. It kind of depends on how many limbs you're cutting. And
Size of the limbs.
And so Darrell can advise you completely on all that's involved.
It's basically, we're looking at is the way the limbs, you know, oak trees grow down to the ground. And so the new cottages trying to, you know, build them up 5 feet, and then they have a roof. You know, it's like, okay, we're going to need to trim these. We don't want
So it's going to be, they're going to be in the same footprint, basically.
they're in the same
They-
footprint.
yeah.
So we're not talking about, I mean, we're trying to stay away from the roots of the oak trees. We're keeping the oak trees, you know, but it's like, okay, it would be good to go ahead and trim them and.
Well, sure,
and
the
all of this
elevation is
stuff.
going up, you know.
Yeah.
You know, tree growth there, you're living.
Anyway, just to clarify on that a little bit, the intentions.
I motion the approval of demolition of the properties on 315 frontage.
I'll second that.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes.
Okay.
Board of
Again,
Alderman meeting.
yeah, Tuesday evening, if you want to be here. It'll be on consent, so if you have other things to do, don't feel like you need to be here for it. I don't anticipate any questions about it.
I think the
But,
paperwork's already been filled out.
yeah.
I'll probably be here.
I was going to say,
I'll give you a call if they call it on the consent agenda.
Thank you. Thank everyone.
Thank
All
you.
right. Last item is 703 Porter Avenue. James Waller requests for COA to make repairs, or
It's okay if I sit up here?
sure.
I'm hard of hearing,
Replace
so.
windows and replace the
Help me
garage
Speak up a
door.
little bit.
Yeah, this is a the situation we have. It's on Porter Avenue, and the modifications to the building are because they are changing the materials. It's more than just repair or maintenance. It's really just a little bit beyond what we have the authority to do, approve administratively as part of the building permit, because of some of the. Let me see what's listed there. Replacing deteriorated lap siding with hardy board, and repair and replace some of the panes, and also replacing the garage doors. That's a little just more beyond what would be under the typical just maintenance, but it is still generally consistent with the Old Ocean Springs Historic District in terms of what is going to be done to the building to use more modern materials to repair it. Also, in your report, there are several photos that were submitted with it to explain parts of the house that are being repaired and let's say upgraded, but repaired with newer materials.
I can see why he wants to replace the garage door.
Well, one of the things that we have decided we may be able to do to keep the garage doors is actually put panels, because Miss Amanda submitted what y'all would approve as far as there's not room in there to put the roll-up door with the motor and everything in the back. So what we've looked at, I mean, as a contract I've researched, I think we can take panels that are identical to the ones that you showed on your acceptable and place them over the doors, and we've got room for them to slide up, and they'll look brand new, but we'll just have those panels that go up because they don't fold. That door doesn't fold at all. It swings out and goes straight up. Yes, sir.
So basically, just like resurfacing.
Yes, ma'am. That's what we'll be doing, is resurface the doors. But we've already got the tracks redone on said side and got all the springs working again, and got all the trim around them. And when I talked about replacing some of the siding, Miss Amanda said that it was fine to use lap siding in place of the other siding because we can't get it. And there was already a bunch of lap siding on it. And the only other thing that I have is the windows. The windows are so deteriorated, the wooden windows, and half the windows in there is vinyl anyway. The whole front, in fact, it says right on the front of it, the windows are vinyl. That the windows, if we can get them made, will run 4 to 5 times what a vinyl window would run. And we're looking at 16 weeks if we can even get them made at that time. I went to company after company. I've been in business 40-some years, and I started to tell my age right now. But anyway, we're having difficulty finding them. And like I say, the windows look like they're going to be $800-900 a piece to $1,000 for some of them. And he's already replaced vinyl. In fact, if you look on the facing the house on the right-hand side up in the gable, all this damage occurred during Katrina. And he actually, because of not being able to get laborers in there, he had to actually put plywood over the windows up in the right-hand gable, and he wants to replace that with a window to bring it back like it was. We can get the vinyl windows, and they'll be the same design with 1/1 clear like they are now. We can get those, and we can get those in about 4 weeks. And so what I'm asking for, and the owner, Mr. Kendall, is asking if we can use those windows, and then all the windows around the house are match. All the windows in the front are vinyl. Most of the windows on the left-hand side are vinyl.
Now that porch, those are not windows, is that a screen area?
That's green, yes, ma'am. Yes.
So I was looking at those ones, that'd be expensive for windows than that.
In fact, the sashes on the windows, we thought we could replace some of the panels, but the sashes are so deteriorated that one of them is actually, just starting to come apart.
Sure.
So, and that's all the modifications are to it. Everything else is staying the same.
So the windows that you're gonna get, the vinyl windows will be white?
Yes, sir. Yeah, in fact, the windows that's on there, you can see on the front, they'll match the ones on the front of the house. If you look at the front of the house, all those are vinyl.
The ones on the bottom and the top are both.
Yes, ma'am. And like I say, if you look at the right-hand side of it, that gable, you can see where plywood has been put over a window up there. And we would replace that with the window like it should have been originally.
And then I see there's a picture of a door. Is that being replaced as well?
What?
Yeah.
A door?
Yes.
No. None of the doors are being
This
replaced.
here.
The aluminum door, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why the.
Yeah, we reworked the doors and got all the doors working. Know that, you talking about that screen door there?
Yeah.
That storm door? If I don't know if we could replace it or not. If we could replace it, we could put a white storm door there, but it would be up to, for approval. If it's approval, then we would do that. This is second time in my life I've had to deal with the Historical Society. We're from Laurel, Mississippi. And what happened to Mr. Kendall, we built a camp for him up in Wiggins. And that's how he warned us. He didn't want anybody else coming in here and work on it but us, which, is a nice compliment. But, and we became friends. But yes, he would replace that with a nice white storm door, and I told him I would check on that when I was here also. I'm glad you reminded me of that.
And it looks almost like I can't tell if it's missing a step or I guess that's
It's
just being
all
propped
one of
up.
them old aluminum
Yeah.
storm doors.
Imagine that.
Is the garage door gonna be white too? I may have missed
Yes,
that.
sir. It'd be a white door, yes, sir. It'd have the glass in it and have, where they could lock it from inside and stuff like that. Yeah, they run about $300 for those doors.
Where is the block wall that was gonna be?
Okay, if you look, I think, see it right there at the bottom?
Oh, so that was a wall?
Yes, sir, there's a storage room there, and I think something hit it, and it was, and I've got the mason, he's already gonna come in and.
Oh, I thought that was just cinder blocks being stored in the garage.
That was part of the wall.
Kind of weird.
It had that, because that's adjacent to the church. In fact, back in the church there, the house is right next to the, what's that, St. John's, I think?
St. John.
It is, yeah.
St. John's, yes. And then we would put that on and then paint it white to match the rest of the storage building there.
So essentially just closing that off.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Is he gonna repaint the entire structure?
Sir?
Is he gonna repaint the entire structure once?
We've already been started painting. I got a permit to paint it, then we put a new roof on it, and I got a permit to put that on, and then we did of course, I got a permit to do some inside work also, which is not any concern to you all, I know. And but yes, we're gonna paint the whole house. Most of it's painted now. But the things we can't paint is the windows and the trim around the windows until you give us permission to finish that up. But the other thing we could paint, we just about got painted. But we didn't do any of the trim around the windows, anything, because I'm waiting on your determination.
Okay.
I motion an approval of certificate of appropriateness for the minor renovation repair to the building exterior on 703 Porter.
I'll second that.
We want to include the placement of the storm door too.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also to include the storm door.
And it's okay to replace those windows with vinyl windows?
Yeah, I don't see a problem with replacing them with vinyl windows.
I mean, that's been consistent with what, it's
Yeah.
consistent with
Yeah.
what's in there already.
And again, you use the same style of window.
Yes, sir. We'll take those wooden windows out as deteriorated and then replace them with the vinyl ones. Okay.
So can I get a second now?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
No opposed?
Well, I enjoyed meeting you all, and thank you.
Nice
Thank
meeting
you.
you.
And also, like I've told the other folks, this will be on the Board of Aldermen's agenda Tuesday evening
Okay.
for final approval. After that, you can get the permits for this, the building department.
Also, I want to thank Miss Amanda for all her help.
She's great.
She was really great helping me out.
He's actually already submitted his building permit.
Ma'am?
Oh, okay.
You've already submitted your building permit. I just haven't forwarded it to him to review
What,
and
for the
approve yet.
windows and stuff?
Yes,
I
because
haven't
we're
done
waiting on
that yet, because I was waiting on you.
No, you did.
Oh, I did?
Yes,
Okay, yeah.
you did. I have it. I just haven't forwarded it.
Oh,
to him
okay.
yet. But I will
Okay.
do that tomorrow, so I'll have your approval ready. You can pick up your permit on Wednesday.
Okay, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Last
Thank
item.
you.
Next item is approval of minutes.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from Tuesday, April 12th, 2022.
Seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
No more items. So can I get one final motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank
And
you.
there will